It's a very common belief that oh, I don't have the money. Oh, it costs too much. These are all the negative stories that the monkey who rents free space in our head says to us to trip us. If you take a young 18-year-old out fresh out of high school, didn't want to go to college, couldn't go to college, and found a job paying them only 25 grand a year, nothing more, nothing less, and work till they're 65 and retired. That same individual from 18 to 65 would have worked 47 years at that job, earning only $25,000. You know how much that person would have earned in that time? Make a wild guess. $1.175 million with an M. Yet the same person were retired broke, and when they died, their family had to set up a GoFundMe account. I believe that is morally wrong. And nobody is teaching individuals when they come out of high school how to even balance a checkbook. What is a checkbook, right? But they are taught how to get a credit card, how to spend money, how to get into debt right off the bat. And
True.
but that's what I want to say. We all can find the money once we understand the value of what we're getting. People are willing to let go of this subscription, that subscription, and buy the product. My 2 cents worth. Well,
No,
my 50
no,
cents worth.
50 cents. Yeah, you're worth more than a quarter. But yeah, I mean that's so true. I had one initial client when I first started a long time ago, and she had someone that did the bookkeeping, but she kind of learned on the job. But the woman that owned the business knew how to use QuickBooks. She really did. She worked for the Food Network, and she did budgets and all that kind of stuff. So she really did know what she was doing. But and then her and her boyfriend got into construction. But so she though didn't know enough that when somebody came in as an accountant and said, I can run your financials for you. I can do your bank reconciliation, your credit card reconciliation, okay, a mortgage, whatever, their liability or reconciling. And I can print your financials every month. But we all know in QuickBooks, if you're putting all of the banking transactions in correctly, that your bank reconciliation literally takes minutes, if not seconds, and that running the financials is just saying what date from and to and pushing a little button. She charged her $600 a month to do just only that. She mailed her the financials,
How many
emailed them.
transactions?
Yeah, I told her.
There's so many.
Fire
There's
that
so many
person.
variables that can affect that, though.
I know. I said
And
fire
also-
her right away.
I was going to say reconciliations are not always so simple. Sometimes you run into issues, then you got to stop and figure them out, and that's what
Right.
they're looking for.
Right.
This is the thing. When I'm talking to a business owner and they tell me my uncle's doing the books and they're like hoping for the best, I spent like most of last year doing like bookkeeper launch and quick and easy cleanup and all these classes, and like the amount of work that a regular business owner would have to put in to do their books correctly, they can't even imagine. Like their uncle is not doing any of this work, and so
Right.
it's so frustrating because I don't know. That's my biggest gripe in all of this is that I approach people all the time and they're like, we'll figure it out at the end of the year, or I give my accountant all my bank statements. I've heard people say, like, good luck to you then. But
And quite frequently, I'll find that individuals will never have added their depreciation.
right, then that's the
or
thing.
amortization, so they never tie to the tax statement.
There's
So like
such
Ted
a
said,
checklist.
you want to have good financials so that people will want to do business with you. And so if you're not getting that kind of assistance, in that area of your business, then you can't pay attention to what's really important, which is your sales, getting that money in the door. If you're too busy doing a bank reconciliation, which I showed the bookkeeper how to do it, told her if you do everything right, it won't be a big deal. But if not, first start with your beginning and your ending balance. Start with your deposits. Do they match? Do the spending, does that match? Then narrow it down, and then you can usually figure it out. And the credit cards, it's their cutoff date. That's what's awkward about credit cards.
There's a lot
So,
of bookkeeping clerks I've worked with for a long, long, long time who say, look, if I have to sit next to you day after day after day after day after day after day, etc., while you're doing work that I obviously know how to do because I was trying to teach you, one of us is unnecessary.
right.
Yes, Sue.
It's very true. It's very true. Well, and the thing is about finance and accounting that people don't want to pay for it because we're not revenue generating. We don't bring money to the business. So they don't understand the value. And
And
again, like Ted say, of getting a loan or with Ellen, figuring out how to make money. They don't remember that that's really going to make you money. So, it's really a mind shift. It's helping these people have a mind shift change of how they look at their business.
Ina, in your class, right? You have a class, right? What you were talking about
I do.
earlier? Is it about advisory services for bookkeepers? Is that I didn't catch like all of it.
Yes, it is. It's for It's for anybody really in the accounting field because that everybody can learn something. But it's predominantly my market is for those bookkeepers, more experience. Well, you would be fine, but for people that really understand accounting and really get it and really understand the bookkeeping, the value of all of that. It's that you are then, if you give your financials to the people that your clients, you're probably pointing out things. Like, wow, your bank balance got a little low. Hey, your AR is getting a little high. Or like Ted said, accounts payable doesn't look like you're paying anything. It's just growing all the time, or you don't have any. Like, why do you not have any accounts payable? Things like that. And so, those are the kinds of things that, you can bring to the table. But those are advisory services.
Right.
That's really what that is.
Yeah.
But, you just have to say, here's what I do in the bookkeeping. That's transactional. That's what we do. Everything else is advisory.
Right.
But, and the bookkeeper is really valuable because you are a trusted accounting advisor.
Right.
Who's in that person's books? Who interacts with that person, in the financial area more than anybody else? If it's not weekly, it could even be a couple times a week. So they trust you.
Right.
It's like Ellen pointed out, people are who wants to trust somebody they got a cold email to do their books, both professionally or, personally? Nobody. Well, so people do, but, they're fools for doing that. But yeah, so really keep it close to the vest. If they find somebody they can trust, you're like gold. Like Ted's whole business, it's like gold. You're really part of their business. Where like a lot of CPA firms will say, well, here's my my philosophy. I come in every month and I share all this stuff with you, and I have what I call a plug and play type of thing. And mine sort of is too, but I customize it to that particular business owner. What's keeping you up at night? I want you to understand this is a safe space to talk about sick. It's no judgment here. Let's just get all the skeletons out of the closet. Let's deal with them and move forward.
Right.
But it's that trust. Once you have that trust, and you're in a good place. So Ellen, you had something you wanted to share? Oh, you're on mute.
I know. I used to like, where's the mute button? And I'm frantically looking for it. I was reading the chat and Tristan had posted that, he politely reminds people that the U.S. just hired 80,000 IRS agents. And I always politely remind my prospective clients, the IRS is not our friend, okay? And they are stuck to you by your hip for the rest of your life unless you figure out how to ditch them legally. And so, people don't realize that they want the low hanging fruit, and he is absolutely right. Not that it's 100%, but they're not going to spend time auditing people who they know have attorneys, who have bookkeepers, who have accountants. They're not going to because they got way too many low-hanging fruit. So they will start going after that. And that's another thing we need to follow the IRS is look for the low-hanging fruit as clients. Don't look for all the way on the top. And I'm 5'2". I can't even reach my cabinets, let alone the top of an apple tree. So we need to be mindful of that. And you made a good point, Ina, that you said a fool is soon parted, right? I don't want clients to be my clients after meeting me once or twice. I'm honored that they trust me right off the bat.
Yeah.
But a fool and their money are soon parted, right? And if they
Right.
become my client, in a heartbeat, the next person that tells them, oh, I got this shiny object, guess what? They're going to take the money away from you and go there. So
Right.
it's, do you really want that temporary client? I rather not, really, as a business.
So